Alright lads, so right before midterm we were looking at parabolas and we'd simply went and drawn a parabola. Now on page 165, exercise 1, we're going to start looking at the principles of drawing a parabola in different drawings. So what we have here is a candle holder. So it has one parabola here, and if you actually read the question here, it says also shown as a drawing of a holder, both curves are parabolas. So this is actually a parabola up here. So what we have to do, we have to draw one parabola, two, and then fill in the rest. Alright, so it's straightforward enough. You've done it before, you should be well able to do this. Now, what you need to look at first, I'm going to draw this parabola here, this one first. So what width is it? It's 70mm wide by 80 high. The overall of the drawing is 100 by 125. And what I've done is, I've just drawn out simply two boxes. So this is 70 by 80 high, this is 100 by 125. So in the bigger box the whole drawing will fit, in this box the parabola will fit. Alright, now, so what's the first thing we have to do when drawing a parabola? Okay, so we need to establish our center line, right? So half of 70 is 35, alright? So you draw your long line, short line, whatever you want, up. This is your center line here. Now, we're going to divide the parabola into 4 at the side. Is this going to be hard on the side? No. Why? It's 80. You come up every 20mm interval, put a mark. You can then bring the same mark across there using your T-square, or you can use your set square again. It's completely up to you. Alright. Now then, this here will be the vertex. Alright, I'll zoom in another bit on this. This is going to be the vertex here, or V. So all you'll do is draw back your lines back to there like so. Okay, and then sure, you don't need to draw the bottom one, that's already in. Now, we've divided each side into 4. We need to divide each half here in the bottom in 4. So the overall piece at the bottom needs to be divided into 8 parts. What measurement is it? Of course, they give us an awkward measurement at 70. How are we going to do this? Remember, you drop down at any angle and draw a line 80mm. Why 80? Because it's handy to divide into 4 parts. Get your set square, 2 of them. Do your sliding set squares. Okay, so we'll have to line this up here. Back to the edge here from the edge of the line. I should have marked in my 80mm here. Sorry, my 10mm intervals. So you draw your line 80, mark in 10mm intervals. Then set up your sliding set squares. Then just start to trace them back in like so. This will evenly divide it into 8 parts, sorry. I'm just going through this quickly because we have more to do in this drawing. If you can't remember this, go back to the previous videos I've done. Then bring up your lines, up the way, nice and lightly. These are all construction lines. Okay. You can label these now if you want. I don't need to. I know where the points are going to go. So we have our vertex as the top. Then this point, this point, this point, and the bottom corner. Same here. This point, this point, this point, and the bottom corner. Then roughly, then we have one parabola drawn in there like that. Okay. So I've went through that a small bit quicker. Now, what I'm going to do next then is I'm actually going to draw in the next parabola. So I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to heavy this part of in done, and then I'll come back to you. Now, what I've done here then at the top is I've come down 10mm here because this little piece at the top isn't part of the parabola. Then you come down 25. This is the height of your parabola, and then the width is obviously 100, the full size of the drawn. So you can see down the bottom here. Now the parabola this time is going the opposite way. The vertex, the top, is here. Alright, so just remember that when you're drawing it. Now it's 25 high, 100 wide. I'm going to divide this into 5. Okay, well, actually I'm going to divide it into 5, yeah, because it's the handiest. Okay, so you have 25 on the side. You come up every 5mm intervals, like that. Bring your marks across. You can divide it into any amount, lads. I just normally go with whatever is the handiest in terms of divisible. So 10 or 100mm is easily divisible by 5 as well. Now, main thing is to draw back, alright, the correct way. So we're going to be drawn this way, so the vertex is actually here now. We're going to be drawn back this way. This parabola is the exact same principle, but I would suggest some of you might get a bit confused on it because it's just simply upside down. That's the end point there, alright. It's upside down and it looks nearly as almost like it's a circle. Alright. Line them up. And then there. Now, that's divided into 5. Each side of this needs to be divided into 5, which is very handy as it's 10. Alright. Divide the whole thing into 10. Drop down your lines. Pause the video anytime if you want to stop and draw. Now, so bottom part of the parabola is there. With that point, that point, that point, and that point. And we can simply sketch it in. Now you can label these points if you think you're going to get confused. It's the exact same principle, just repeat it. Alright, I'll pause it again and heavy that in. Now then, I've that heavied in. That's that parabola drawn. We've the other one drawn. Now all we have to do is just finish off the small little bit at the top and the legs on the side. So, you can see here, this is 20mm. So that's going to be, it's banging the center line, so it's going to be 10mm either side of the center line. When you do that, you just draw that down to the top of the line here. And then you bring from the corner here, back down to there. And that should be it. So I'll do that here now to show you. So this line here is heavy the whole way across. Alright, what you do then is, you come out 10mm, we have that already marked in, perfect. And heavy that in. 10mm either side, you should have that there if you've done your spacings at 10mm. Draw in your point, and what you do is, from there, back down to the very corner of the drawn, and you just draw in the legs from this point here. Okay, like that. And line it up there at the top to the very corner again, from the bottom of this parabola down to the corner, and just heavy in your 2 feet. Okay, and that's that drawing done. Now, that drawing there is a slight bit more complicated. This parabola here, although it's the exact same thing as doing here, is a slight bit more complicated because I put in more lines, I put in 5, alright, and it's upside down. Just make sure you always draw away from the vertex. So the vertex is always the peak or the top of the curve. Just so happens that this one's upside down. Alright. So what you can do, have a go at that. See how you get on at it. If you find it too hard, stop the video, draw it again. Alright. So on page 165. This parabola should be no problem to you. Have a go at that one then. Alright. It's the exact same principle. Other than that, have a good day.